Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I wanted to address what I had addressed maybe about a week ago, and that was about the Bank Secrecy Act, right? In which you're not necessarily going to be able to deposit the $10,000 or above inside of your bank account, checking your savings account, or even insurance without having that being reported. And that is because of the money laundering laws and different things like that. However, I did do some research and I found some ways that if you need that cash within 48 hours, then we can go ahead and do this strategy. So it's a strategy that you're probably going to be familiar with, but it has to do with secured credit cards. Absolutely, it's going to be secured credit cards that you can divide this money up with, or perhaps you can have the whole $10,000 in. Now I know on some a lot of secured cards, their limit, right, is the $5,000, right? $5,000 is going to be the limit on the secured credit cards. However, there may be some cards out there that'll let you do the 10,000, that'll let you do the 20,000, right? And some people may be like, well, I mean, if they're going to let you do the 20,000, then why would you ever, right, why would you be concerned about dividing it up within the 5,000? Well, because of the Bank Secrecy Act. Remember, folks, there's going to be laws in place because of the different activities that have gone on within the banking system, and they're just protecting themselves. And so that is why, right, I had to look it up for myself and see what I could give to you in order for you to have access to these funds as fast as possible, right? So that you wouldn't be like us. Do you remember that story with Joseph, Ray, and me? We had to wait 6 months for the funds to come into the bank account, yada, yada, yada. Listen, folks, let's not do that, okay? I'm trying to save you heartache and pain. So let's get into how you can have access to those funds as soon as possible, all right? And the banking industry actually allows us to do this, all right? Listen, please read the terms and conditions. Disclaimer, all right? Let's go. $5,000 and $5,000, all right? So let's go ahead and make sure that we know that on one credit card, you can have $5,000, one secured card, and then on another secured card, you can have another $5,000. Now, because you've done that, right? What's going to happen to your $10,000? Your $10,000 is what's securing both of these cards. All right? 5,000 here and another 5,000 here. Now remember, it doesn't matter what the interest rate is. It can be 20%, it can be 30%, 40%, 50%. May I ask you a question? Is having a high interest rate on both of these cards better than having access to your money 6 months from now? I'm just saying, is it better or is it worse? And that is something that you would have to answer for yourself, all right? So when we have access to this cash, right, which, it's credit, but you can also have advances as well, right? When you have access to that, what are you going to do with it, right? You've got the $10,000. Now what are you going to do with it? Now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and pay off those loans that you have out, whether it's a student loan, whether it's a mortgage, whether it's a car loan, all right? That $10,000 that you receive, you're not going to have to wait the 6 months for, because you have transmitted this into the secured credit card, all right? So now that you have access to these funds, right, because of the secured credit card, let's go ahead and, if you are concerned about your credit utilization ratio, make sure that it's below the 30%. Sonia, good job, all right? Make sure that it's below the 30%. Now, if you're not, right? And you recognize that, hey, credit scores go up, some go down. It's no big deal. I'm a great payment history, right? I've got great a mix of accounts. It's not going to hurt me too much, CJ, if I go a little bit above that credit utilization. Great. And CJ, I'm just building credit, and I really need to get these loans off. So I'm going to eliminate them. And I don't care if I max out my credit cards or max out my lines of credit. Hey, that's good too. You know why? Because you could always go back and fix that later, right? Because what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you've, let's say, placed $5,000 towards now that's 50%, right? 5,000 out of $10,000 in credit lines, that's 50%. So you've placed it toward a loan, right? And what are you going to do? You're above the credit utilization. But what's this? What's this? Income is coming in, and you know what you're going to do? You're going to go ahead and pay that. Let's say you make $5,000 a month or maybe $3,000 a month. You're going to pay, right, from your checking account into this account in which you paid your expenses, and it's going to be like it never left. Because it's before the 30 days. Or perhaps you're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and carry this balance another month because I'm going to need this cash for something else. You can do that. All right? The good thing about this is when you pay the credit card, the secured credit card, guess what? You can also pay another expense. Don't get too carried away with it though. We want to make sure that you realize that cash flow, all right, that the cash flow is going to be paying this card down. So it's not going to be your checking account. You're no longer going to pay your credit card. Oh man, that's powerful. Let me say that again. You are no longer going to pay your credit card because from now on, you know this calculation. Loan balance divided by, that's a good one. What's it divided by? How long, right? How long is it going to take us to pay off this credit card? It all depends. Very good. So you're going to take the loan balance and divide it by the cash flow. Okay? How do you have a formula? How do you calculate the cash flow? That's right. Income minus expenses. Income minus expenses. Or I minus E. Okay? Listen, this is what they should have taught us in school. All right? So that's going to equal your cash flow, and you're going to put it right there. You're going to divide the cash flow by the loan balance, right? And that's going to equal the velocity term. That's right, velocity term, which means how many months you're going to be able to pay that off. So let's say the loan balance was $12,000. The cash flow was $2,000. How long is it going to take you to pay that credit card off? That's right. That's right, 6 months. Good job. Good job. Huh? And so those are the two calculations that you want to be concerned with if you're looking at the Bank Secrecy Act and you're like, CJ, I want access to my cash in a shorter time frame than 6 months, then this is the way to go. All right? Absolutely. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. CreditWiz@investorpro.org. Don't worry. Hey, I know who you are, and I received your email. I think I wrote you back, all right? And I'm talking in code right now, but I'm going to write you right now, all right? Write me back. Let's set up the appointment. Let's get it done, all right? CreditWiz@investorpro.org. Thank you so much for attending. If you guys, if I am going too fast, you can always slow it down on the button, or you can always tell me, hey, CJ, you're going too fast, and I need you to slow down. And that is exactly what I'll do. All right? Thank you so much. God bless, and you have a great night. Watch me turn this thing off remotely.